basically I didn't have any access to it, so I had no other choice but to detox.
Do you ever have urges to use?
No,
Why?
because I know what's on the other side of using.
Hello, my name is Pej. I'm an interventionist. I'm also a recovery coach. I help a lot of different people with alcoholism, with addiction, or mental health to try to get their lives back in order and have lives. I'm here with my friend Ari today. Hi, Ari.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, so Ari's been my buddy for quite some time now. We've interacted. I'll say this right here. I mean, this is one of the most stand-up individuals that I know in recovery that really has shown to become a man of recovery, and you got a hell of a story. You, like me, we're both Persian, Iranian. You are how old?
34.
34. And you came to the United States from Iran?
Yes.
At what age?
Got here 2 days after my 18th birthday, actually.
Okay. So you were already finished with high school and everything?
No, actually, I went to high school out here for like 5 days.
5 days. When you were in Iran,
Mhm.
did you do drugs?
No,
Never?
never.
You never touched anything?
Nothing.
Did you drink alcohol?
No.
So you were kind of a straight edge kid?
Yeah.
Were you good in school?
I would pass.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Were you raised by your parents or who?
Step parents. I was adopted by my uncle after my father passed away in a car accident.
Okay. And then your mother?
Mother was never in the picture.
Where was she?
She just couldn't, raise us as a single mom in Middle East, which is pretty hard. And
Yeah.
it was 5 of us brothers. So she just had to move on.
Okay. So when you ended up coming to the States
Mhm.
and you were a straight edge kid and you'd never done drugs and you'd never done alcohol, how long after you came here did you start getting into things?
About 2 years after, like around age 20, that's when I started, doing drugs and alcohol.
How did that happen?
I moved out of my step-parents' house and I moved to another city. And, I just felt like I needed to fit in with the group of people that I was hanging out with. And they were smoking weed, so I started smoking with them.
This is in Texas.
Yes, Houston.
It was in Houston. Okay, so the group of people were Persians, Americans, what were they?
Persians.
Okay. And they were smoking weed, and then what did it become?
It started with weed till a friend of mine got in a car accident. So we got the narcos and it just took off from there.
So he was prescribed Norcos, and then you started using them?
Yes, so it became like a party drug for all of us. And, we were all popping pills.
Did he just have an endless supply?
No, but we end up sending other people to the doctors because we knew doctors and they would get prescriptions as well. And, we had quite a bit amount of narcos at the time.
Were you plopping the pills?
Yes.
Were you ever afraid?
Not really, because I didn't really know much about them. Like,
Did you know they were opiates?
yes, I knew they were opiates, but like I didn't know that it's going to be so addictive and, you're going to be dope sick when you don't have them.
When you would do them, would you drink alcohol with them?
No,
So you just did just pills?
just narcos at the time, yeah.
Smoke weed still?
Yes, smoking weed too, actually.
How long did it take until you got addicted to those? Pretty instant?
I would say like a month and a half. That's when I realized that, one day that I didn't do it, I was like, oh shit, I'm sick.
Yeah, you were kicking.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Then I just, went back to it and kept on popping pills till we couldn't get anybody to get a prescription. So we started moving to doing stronger pills, still off the streets.
Like what?
I started on Roxy's, 30 milligram oxycodones.
When you say off the streets, was there people on the streets, or it was like a plug or a dealer or what?
I used to work in a mechanic shop and I would like literally ask everybody if they can get it. And one of the guys was like, oh, actually my cousin sells them. So I don't know how he was getting them, but he had a lot of it.
Okay. So then when you were getting those, were you smoking them, snorting them? Were you shooting them? What were you doing?
Started as popping them, and soon after, maybe like a week after popping them, I started smoking them and snorting them.
Okay. And were you getting the same effect from snorting them and smoking them?
Compared to popping them.
Yeah.
No, I would say it felt stronger when I smoked it.
Where did you get the idea to smoke it?
One of our friends, brought it to my attention that they're actually smokable because they're so pure or whatever. So that's how we started.
And what is a Roxy?
Roxy is a 30 milligram oxycodone.
Okay. So then, how long were you doing those?
Roxy for like a couple years till they were too expensive.
Till they were too expensive?
Yeah, because like at first when we started doing them, they were so available to us, I would say, that we were getting them for like $5 a pop. It came to a point that they were like $20 to $25 a pop, and they became dollar milligram, which is 30 milligram for $30.
Okay, and then over a period of time, did you transition to heroin?
Yes, when the Roxys became too expensive, the best option to be able to stay high and keep it kind of affordable was China White. So that's when I started doing
So in
heroin.
Texas, they had China White. They didn't have black tar?
They did have black tar, but somehow I found China White before black tar.
Okay, so when you were doing China White, were you smoking it?
Yes.
Snorting it?
I didn't like snoring them. No, I didn't like the flavor.
Shooting it?
No, not with China White.
Okay. And then it turned into black tar?
Yeah, so I moved to Dallas to, clean up, to sober up, and I thought I can do it on my own. I didn't know anything about the program or anything. So I had a bunch of Suboxone with myself, and I actually got sober. And like a couple months later, I started smoking weed again.
Why did you have Suboxone?
Because I wanted to sober up, and I knew that, Suboxone will help me get off of the Roxys.
So when you say that you sobered up, were you on Suboxone?
No, I actually took Suboxone for like a week, and then I went cold turkey from there. And
did you experience the pain of coming off Suboxone?
Yes, very much.
Did you kind of detox yourself and just taper down?
Yeah, so the good thing was I moved from one city to another, and I didn't have any plugs in Dallas, so basically I didn't have any access to it, so I had no other choice but to detox cold turkey. So
how long did you last like that until you started using again?
About a month and a half, and then I went back to Houston and I just hung out with my friends and we smoked some heroin again. But it was like I would just go for a week, get high, and then come back to Dallas and be sick for a week, and then wait like a couple months and then do the same vicious cycle again.
Was this in your 20s?
Yes.
When did you first start shooting heroin, and why?
So I used to work for fast food as a manager, and one time this Persian guy pulls to the drive-thru and he's smoking weed, So I chop it up with him, and I don't know why, but I asked him, I was like, can you get anything stronger? And he was like, oh yeah, I got you. First he brought Coke to me, and then he brought heroin, and I was smoking it still, but he was the one who was shooting it. And one day I was very sick because I didn't have any money to get heroin.
At this point, you're hanging out with the guy.
Yes, like nonstop.
It was your new best friend.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was like, I can give you some heroin, but if you smoke it, you're just wasting it because it won't last long.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you let me, give you a shot?
So he shot you for the first time.
He shot me the first time, and
were you afraid?
Kinda. But I was so dope sick, and
you were ready to do it.
I was like, whatever, just bring it on,
How long did you shoot dope for?
Like 8-9 years.
Did you get Hep C?
Yes.
Did you get it because you shared a dirty needle?
Yes.
Did you know you were sharing a dirty needle and you could potentially?
I actually did, yeah. Like
you knew, but you kind of were just so out of your mind you didn't.
Yeah,
care?
so like my backpack got stolen with all my brand new needles when I was homeless. And I ran to the bridge where I used to sleep under, and the other guy who used to sleep like in the block next to me, he would also shoot up heroin. And I was like, dude, I need a needle because I'm like so sick and I don't want to waste it because I don't have much. And he's like, well, I got Hep C, but I can give you this needle. And I was like, I don't care.
Do you think that your lifestyle is what got you, during that time, is what got you to homelessness?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Did you go to prison?
Yes.
How many times?
2 times.
Why?
One time was due to drugs. I had a heroin charge, which it wasn't even my heroin. It was the guy that was in the car. He threw it in the car, and I ended up getting popped for it because I was the owner of the car. And the second time was for selling drugs.
When you got out of prison, did you keep using?
Immediately after, yeah.
For how long?
The first time I did it for like 2 years before I got popped again and went back to prison. The second time when I got out of prison, I only did it for 3 months, and that's when I decided I need to get sober.
What brought you to California?
A friend of mine who used to get high with me, he moved out here right when I went to prison, and he got his life together, and he wouldn't even answer my phone calls for the longest time, and I
Because
don't
he knew
know.
you were getting high.
Yeah, and he was like fresh in his sobriety, so he was trying to take care of himself, and I don't know why, but he answered my phone call that day, and he got me a bus ticket to come out here because I couldn't get on an airplane because I don't have ID.
So you took the bus out to California, and where did you go?
First, we went to this place called College Hospital, which is like a detox for indigent people. We went over there, and I was there for like, I would say like 7 to 8 days. I kind of got kicked out of there.
Kind of?
Well, I had one more day to go to get released, but I kind of got into it with one of the nurse over music being too loud, and I got kicked out. They were like, "We're gonna discharge you early. We're not gonna put a kid, like a, unsuccessful discharge, but we're gonna discharge you."
Mhm.
And after that, I had no other choice but to go to Salvation Army,
And then you ended up in the Salvation Army in Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, California.
And you went in there and you didn't want to really be there, but then you
Oh, no.
ended up embracing it.
Well, I didn't want to be there, that's for sure, because, at first I was like, oh, this is for the birds, this is for the losers, and then I realized I'm one of the losers,
Yeah.
so I had no other choice to tag along with the losers and try to win it.
And then you became a worker there.
Yes, I worked there for, the program was for 6 months, and then I worked there for like a month.
Okay. And then after you left there, you came into my life,
Yes.
but you didn't have a car or anything like that, but you'd still Uber to the Salvation Army once a week.
Once a week, yeah,
'Cause
every
you had
Wednesday.
started working.
Yeah.
You went back there to go be of service to the guys there.
Yep. I would go there and I would attend the church on Wednesday nights. And after the church, I would stay for the panel because they have a panel every single day of the week. And I would be part of the Wednesday panel and I would just share about my experience.
Now you're sober how long?
15 months now.
Do you ever have urges to use?
No,
Why?
because I know what's on the other side of using. Like homelessness, like more diseases, like a life that is not worth living.
For anybody that's struggling with addiction, what kind of energy can you put out into the universe to maybe just give somebody some encouragement or words of wisdom or hope?
At first you might think that it's impossible to get it, but day by day it gets better, and I'm a living example. So are millions of other people. So if you think you can't do it, don't give up. And it gets way easier after a little while.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and talking to me today.
For sure.
So if you or somebody that you know is just struggling with addiction, alcoholism, heroin, any type of addiction, or mental health, you can always contact me at 310-596-9356. My name is Pet.
Perfect.